Good evening. Tonight, there is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to solve, no decisions waiting for you. For the next few hours, your only job is to listen, relax, and slowly drift wherever sleep wishes to take you. Before we begin, I'd like you to imagine something. Imagine holding the most extraordinary object ever discovered. Not the largest, not the brightest, not the oldest, but perhaps the most mysterious. An object so remarkable that it has written every poem, built every city, painted every masterpiece, dreamed every dream, and wondered about the stars themselves. Now imagine, you've been carrying that object with you, every second of every day, since before you were born. It has never left your side. It has never taken a holiday. It has never truly fallen silent. That extraordinary object is your brain. It weighs only about 3 pounds, small enough to hold in 2 hands. Yet inside it exists a universe unlike anything else we know. Around 86 billion neurons, each one quietly exchanging tiny electrical whispers, building thoughts, creating memories, guiding every heartbeat, every breath, every emotion, every moment of your life. And perhaps the most astonishing part, you have never actually seen it. You've seen photographs, drawings, scans, models, but the real landscape, the place where your memories live, where your imagination quietly paints impossible worlds, where your favorite songs continue long after the music stops, has remained hidden, even to you, for thousands of years. People believed the heart was the home of thought. Others believed intelligence came from invisible spirits or from the heavens themselves. The brain sat quietly inside the skull, its true purpose unknown. Even today, despite extraordinary technology, despite satellites orbiting distant planets, despite machines capable of extraordinary calculations, scientists still admit something remarkable. The human brain remains the most complex object ever discovered in the known universe. It contains more connections than there are stars in our galaxy. It consumes only a small amount of energy, yet somehow creates language, music, love, fear, curiosity, and the endless stream of thoughts that quietly flow through your mind. Even now, tonight, we'll take a slow journey, not only through your own brain, but through time itself. We'll travel back hundreds of millions of years to an Earth where brains did not yet exist, where life drifted silently through ancient oceans, without thoughts, without memories, without dreams. We'll watch as the first tiny nerve cells appeared. We'll witness how evolution patiently experimented over unimaginable lengths of time. Tiny improvements, tiny changes, generation after generation, until eventually, those simple beginnings became something extraordinary. They became curiosity. They became imagination. They became music. They became stories. And one day, they became you. So, take one slow, comfortable breath. Let your shoulders soften. Allow every muscle to become just a little heavier. There is nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to achieve. Simply listen as together we begin the amazing story of your brain. Take another slow, gentle breath as the world around you grows quieter. Allow your imagination to drift backward through time, far beyond written history, far beyond the age of dinosaurs, past forests, past mountains, even past the first animals that ever walked upon the land. We are traveling more than 600 million years into Earth's distant past, the world before brains. It is a strange place, almost unrecognizable. There are no birds singing overhead, no trees reaching toward the sky, no flowers blooming in the sunlight. The continents themselves look unfamiliar, scattered across a young and restless planet. The air feels different. The oceans stretch endlessly, calm in some places, wild in others. Beneath those ancient waves, life already exists, but only in its simplest forms. Tiny organisms drift wherever the currents decide. They do not hunt. They do not plan. They do not remember yesterday. And they certainly do not imagine tomorrow. They simply exist, responding quietly to the gentle rhythms of nature, the warmth of sunlight, the pull of gravity, the movement of water. At this moment, no creature has a brain. No creature wonders where it is going. No creature feels curiosity. There are no dreams, no music, no stories, no thoughts. Life is beautifully simple. Yet, nature is never completely still. Over countless generations, small changes begin to appear. Tiny improvements, so small that no single lifetime could ever notice them. A single cell becomes slightly better at sensing light. Another becomes better at detecting movement nearby. Another can recognize a faint chemical signal drifting through the water. These changes are almost invisible, but together, they begin something extraordinary. Imagine being one of these tiny creatures. You cannot see. You cannot hear. You have no eyes, no ears, no nose, no brain. And yet, you begin to sense that something nearby has changed. Perhaps the water has become warmer. Perhaps food has drifted closer. Perhaps danger is approaching. The ability to notice these changes, even in the simplest way, becomes one of evolution's greatest inventions. Soon, specialized cells begin appearing. Instead of every cell doing every job, some become experts. Some sense light. Others detect touch. Others respond to chemicals dissolved within the sea. It is a remarkable step forward. But another challenge soon appears. How can one part of the body tell another part what it has discovered? Imagine touching something hot. If the information never reached your muscles, you could never move away. Communication changes everything. And so, nature creates another incredible invention, the neuron, a tiny living cell designed for one purpose: to carry information. At first, these neurons are few, simple, scattered throughout tiny bodies. But even these first nerve cells offer an enormous advantage. A creature can now respond faster, escape danger sooner, find food more easily, survive just a little longer. Generation after generation, those tiny advantages accumulate. Evolution never rushes. It does not leap. It whispers. One small improvement, followed by another, then another, over millions upon millions of years. Eventually, individual neurons begin forming simple networks. Instead of working alone, they begin working together. Messages travel farther. Responses become faster. Behavior becomes more coordinated. It is still not a brain. Not yet. Think of it more like a tiny network of pathways, a simple communication system, like quiet country roads, long before cities, highways, or great bridges ever existed. One of the earliest creatures to use such a network still lives on Earth today, the jellyfish. Watch it as it drifts peacefully through the ocean. Graceful, silent, almost dreamlike. It has no brain, no central command center. Instead, it possesses a delicate nerve net, a beautiful web of neurons spread throughout its body. When something touches one part, signals ripple gently across the entire network. Its movements appear almost effortless, as though the ocean itself is carrying its thoughts. Even after hundreds of millions of years, the jellyfish reminds us that life does not always need complexity to achieve elegance. Nature often begins with astonishing simplicity, and from those simple beginnings, everything else slowly follows. The first true brains are still millions of years away, but the foundation has already been laid. Tiny neurons, quietly passing messages across ancient oceans, one gentle signal at a time. And although those early creatures could never imagine the future, their descendants would one day build civilizations, write symphonies, explore distant galaxies, and ask perhaps the greatest question of all: how did all of this begin? That answer starts here, in the silent oceans, long before memory, long before dreams, long before anyone could even think. So let the waves continue their slow rhythm as we drift onward toward the next remarkable chapter, where nature takes another patient step toward creating the first true brain. The ancient ocean continues its endless dance. Gentle waves rise and quietly fall. Millions of years pass as effortlessly as a single breath. Life is changing, not quickly, not dramatically, but patiently. Evolution has no schedule. It asks for no applause. It simply continues, one tiny improvement at a time. The scattered nerve cells that once stretched like delicate threads through simple bodies have begun to gather together. Imagine a village slowly growing into a town. Instead of every home standing alone, roads begin connecting them. Communication becomes easier. Information travels farther and much faster. Something similar is happening inside these early animals. Neurons, once spread across the body, are beginning to collect near the front. This simple gathering will eventually become the first brain. But why the front? The answer is surprisingly simple. Most animals move forward. The front of the body always reaches new places first. It encounters food, obstacles, predators, and opportunities before the rest of the body does. If information can be collected there and decisions made immediately, survival improves. Nature notices. Generation after generation, the cluster grows, ever so slightly, not because anyone planned it, not because evolution has a goal, but because creatures with better coordination often leave behind more descendants over countless millions of years. This tiny cluster of neurons becomes a small control center. It receives information. It compares signals. It chooses responses. For the first time, an animal is not merely reacting. It is beginning to process. This quiet moment marks one of the greatest turning points in the history of life. The first true brains have arrived. They are incredibly simple, nothing like your own, perhaps no larger than the head of a tiny insect. Yet every human thought, every work of art, Every scientific discovery can trace its distant ancestry back to these humble beginnings. Imagine swimming through those ancient seas. The water is filled with unfamiliar creatures. Some resemble soft ribbons, floating effortlessly. Others crawl slowly across the ocean floor. Tiny predators appear. Tiny prey disappear. Every day, life becomes slightly more competitive. Suddenly, speed matters. Awareness matters. Timing matters. An animal that detects danger just one heartbeat earlier may survive. Another, only a fraction slower, may not. Evolution quietly rewards those tiny differences. The first brains become a remarkable advantage. Soon, new senses begin to appear. Simple eyes that detect only light and darkness. Primitive smell receptors, able to recognize faint chemical trails. Touch receptors, sensitive enough to notice the smallest movement in the water. None of these senses work alone. They now send their information to a central place, the young brain. There, signals are combined, compared, interpreted. The outside world begins forming a simple picture inside a living creature. It is the earliest beginning of perception. No memories yet, as we understand them. No imagination, no language, but something important has changed forever. Life is no longer responding only to the present moment. It is beginning to anticipate, to choose, to adapt. If one direction contains danger, another may offer safety. If one place contains little food, another may provide abundance. The brain, even in its simplest form, allows flexibility, and flexibility becomes one of evolution's greatest strengths. As millions of years continue to pass, these early brains grow more capable. Some animals develop better vision. Others become expert hunters. Some learn to burrow. Others glide gracefully through the sea. Each species experiments in its own quiet way. Nature never builds only one design. It creates countless possibilities. Most disappear forever. A few endure. Those survivors become the ancestors of nearly every animal alive today. Even now, if you watch a tiny fish, or a curious bird, or a playful puppy, you are seeing different versions of the same remarkable invention. The brain, refined, not over centuries, but over hundreds of millions of years. Your own brain carries echoes of those ancient oceans. Deep within its oldest structures are systems devoted to survival, breathing, heartbeat, balance, awareness. These functions are so reliable that you rarely notice them. Your heart continues beating without asking permission. Your lungs rise and fall without conscious thought. Your body quietly remembers lessons learned long before humans ever existed, long before mammals, long before dinosaurs, long before forests covered the earth. Those ancient neural designs still serve you every moment of every day. It is a beautiful reminder that while humanity often celebrates its newest inventions, some of the greatest engineering has already existed inside every living creature for hundreds of millions of years. The journey has only just begun. Soon, fish will become masters of the seas. Some brave explorers will leave the water behind. Forests will spread across the continents. Reptiles, mammals, and eventually, human beings will appear. But every extraordinary chapter still rests upon this quiet beginning, a handful of neurons gathering together in an ancient ocean, learning very slowly how to understand the world around them. And as the water continues its timeless rhythm, we gently follow evolution toward another remarkable transformation, the moment when life will take its very first steps onto land. Take another slow, easy breath and allow the ancient ocean to remain behind us for just a little while. The Earth has changed again. Hundreds of millions of years have quietly slipped by. The oceans are still full of life, but something extraordinary is beginning to happen. A few curious creatures are venturing toward the shoreline, not because they know what waits beyond the water, not because they dream of new worlds, simply because nature rewards tiny experiments. Sometimes a shallow pool dries beneath the warm sun. Fish become trapped. Those able to survive just a little longer gain another chance to reproduce. Perhaps another pool lies only a short distance away. A tiny wriggle, a desperate push, may mean the difference between life and extinction. Generation after generation, small changes accumulate. Stronger fins, more flexible bones, lungs capable of breathing a little air, a body that can briefly support its own weight. No single generation witnesses the transformation, yet over millions of years, the impossible becomes ordinary. Life steps onto land. Imagine standing on the edge of one of Earth's earliest coastlines. The sky stretches endlessly above. The air feels fresh, rich with possibility. The land is quiet. There are no birds, no flowering plants, no grazing animals, only vast landscapes covered with mosses, primitive ferns, and towering ancient forests. Unlike anything alive today, the silence is almost complete, broken only by the gentle sound of water and the soft rustle of the wind. For the first creatures, this new world is both beautiful and dangerous. Everything is unfamiliar. Gravity feels stronger outside the buoyancy of the sea. The sun burns brighter. The air dries delicate skin. Movement requires far more effort. Every step costs precious energy, and yet the rewards are extraordinary. Fresh food, untouched habitats, fewer predators, new opportunities waiting beyond every fallen log and every shallow stream. To survive here, the brain must learn entirely new skills. In water, a gentle flick of the tail may carry an animal several body lengths. On land, every movement must be carefully coordinated. Each leg must know exactly when to lift, exactly when to push, exactly when to balance. Suddenly, the brain's responsibilities multiply. New sensory information flows inward. Eyes must adjust to brighter sunlight. Ears begin detecting sounds carried not by water, but by air. Smells become richer, far more detailed. A faint scent can now travel great distances. Warning of food, warning of danger, warning of another living creature. Just beyond sight, the brain expands quietly to handle this flood of information. Deep inside, ancient circuits continue keeping the heart beating, the lungs breathing, the body alive. But above them, new regions slowly grow, regions devoted to vision, balance, movement, learning. Each generation adds another tiny improvement. Nothing happens overnight. Nature builds patiently, like a master craftsman, placing one careful stone upon another. The forests themselves become classrooms. Young animals learn which paths lead to water, which shadows may hide danger, which sounds signal safety. The ability to remember even simple experiences becomes incredibly valuable. A creature that remembers often survives. Memory begins taking a more important role in the story of the brain. Imagine one small amphibian leaving a pond. At sunset, the air is cool. Mist drifts gently across the forest floor. Tiny insects buzz softly nearby. Moonlight filters through enormous fern leaves. Each cautious step introduces something new. A strange smell, a new texture, a different sound. The brain quietly records these experiences, not perfectly, not consciously, as humans do, but enough to make tomorrow slightly easier than today. Learning has begun over millions more years. Some descendants become reptiles, their bodies better suited to dry landscapes. Their brains continue improving, slowly, steadily, patiently. Every challenge the Earth presents becomes another opportunity for evolution to refine its greatest invention. And hidden within your own brain, there are still ancient echoes of those first explorers. When you instinctively pull your hand away from something hot, when you catch your balance without thinking, when you suddenly notice an unexpected sound, you are using systems whose origins reach back to those distant forests and the brave creatures who first left the ancient seas behind. Their journey never truly ended. It continues inside every living person, inside every heartbeat, inside every quiet thought, inside every peaceful breath you take, as tonight's gentle story carries us forward, because soon the world will change once again. Great reptiles will rise, dinosaurs will rule the earth for longer than humanity has existed, and hidden in their shadow, small creatures no larger than your hand will quietly begin the next remarkable chapter in the amazing story of your brain. Take another slow, comfortable breath and allow the ancient forests to grow taller around you. The earth has entered another remarkable chapter. More than 200 million years ago, a new group of animals begins to flourish. At first, they are neither the largest nor the strongest, but over millions of years, they become the undisputed rulers of the planet. The dinosaurs. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast prehistoric plain. The morning sun warms the landscape. Towering conifer trees stretch high into the sky. Giant ferns cover the forest floor. The air carries the earthy scent of damp soil and fresh rain. In the distance, a gentle vibration moves through the ground. Not an earthquake, but footsteps. Slow, heavy, steady footsteps. A herd of enormous long-necked dinosaurs moves peacefully across the valley, each one larger than a modern house. Their necks reach high into the treetops, searching quietly for fresh leaves. They are powerful, yet surprisingly calm. Nearby, smaller dinosaurs scurry between the shadows. Some search for insects. Others remain alert, watching the skies. Far above, early flying reptiles glide effortlessly on warm currents of air. The earth feels alive, in a way unlike any time before. For nearly 160 million years, dinosaurs dominate the planet. Entire generations come and go. Mountains rise, oceans shift, forests spread, and still, the dinosaurs remain. It is easy to imagine that evolution has reached its destination, but nature rarely follows the path we expect, hidden beneath fallen logs, inside quiet burrows, and among the roots of ancient trees. Another story is unfolding. Small mammals, they are tiny, most weigh less than a loaf of bread. Many emerge only after sunset. Their world begins when the dinosaurs grow quiet. Night offers protection. The darkness becomes their ally. Imagine one of these early mammals. Its soft fur keeps it warm during cool nights. Its bright eyes search carefully for movement. Its sensitive nose samples the air every few moments. Every sound, every scent may reveal either food or danger. Unlike many reptiles, these little mammals maintain a steady body temperature. This remarkable ability allows them to stay active long after the sun has disappeared. But staying warm requires energy, lots of it. They must eat frequently. They must remember where food can be found, which paths led safely home, which scents belong to predators. Memory becomes increasingly valuable, and with memory, the brain begins another quiet transformation. Inside these tiny mammals, a remarkable structure continues to grow. The cerebral cortex. It forms like a delicate outer blanket, covering older brain regions. At first, it is smooth, simple, only a thin layer of nerve cells, yet it holds extraordinary potential. This new tissue helps animals process more information, recognize familiar places, learn from experience, solve simple problems, adapt, instead of merely reacting. One evening, a young mammal discovers a safe path around a hunting predator. The next night, it remembers a dangerous mistake does not need to be repeated. Learning has become a survival tool. Parents begin spending more time caring for their young. Unlike many reptiles who lay eggs and move on, mammal mothers remain nearby. They protect, they feed, they teach. Something beautiful begins to appear. Social bonds. Young mammals learn not only from instinct, but from one another. A mother may guide her young towards safe shelter, warn them of unfamiliar sounds, show them where food is hidden. For the brain, this changes everything. Now, it must remember not only places, but individuals, friends, family, voices, scents, relationships. The foundations of emotion grow deeper. Love, protection, comfort, and trust begin taking shape long before humans ever exist. If you gently stroke a sleeping cat or watch a family of elephants, protecting one another. You are witnessing ancient behaviors whose roots reach back to these first mammals. Deep within your own brain, there are systems that still respond to gentle touch, to familiar voices, to comforting faces. These circuits have been refined across tens of millions of years. They remind us that intelligence is not only about solving problems, it is also about connection, about caring, about belonging. As the stars will slowly overhead, our tiny mammal returns safely to its warm burrow. Above, the dinosaurs still rule the world. Their footsteps echo across the valleys. They seem unstoppable, yet far beyond the horizon, a quiet change is already approaching. A wandering asteroid drifts silently through space. It has no destination, no purpose, no awareness of the history it is about to change forever. Its journey will end on Earth, and when it does, the age of dinosaurs will come to a sudden close. But from that ending, a new beginning will quietly emerge. The small mammals, who once lived only in the shadows, will inherit the Earth, and with them, the remarkable brain will continue its long, patient, extraordinary story. So rest comfortably and let the stars shine softly above as we move gently toward one of the most dramatic moments in the history of life itself. Take a slow, peaceful breath and allow your imagination to drift 66 million years into the past. The Earth feels familiar, yet wonderfully different. Great forests stretch across the continents. Rivers wind quietly toward warm inland seas. Towering dinosaurs continue their daily lives, unaware that today will be unlike any other day. Far beyond the blue sky, far beyond the moon, a mountain-sized asteroid has been traveling through space for millions of years. It makes no sound. It carries no message. It has no intention. It simply follows the silent laws of gravity for countless ages. Its path has crossed empty space, but now its journey is about to end. The asteroid races toward Earth at more than 40,000 miles per hour. There is no warning, no time to prepare. No creature looks upward, knowing what is coming. Then, in a single instant, the sky changes. A brilliant light, brighter than the sun, appears overhead. Moments later, the asteroid strikes near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula. The impact is almost beyond imagination. The energy released would equal billions of nuclear explosions. The ground shakes violently. Mountains tremble. Rock is thrown into space. A vast crater, nearly 120 miles wide, begins to form across the planet. Shock waves race outward. Forests flatten. Towering waves sweep across coastlines. The peaceful world of the dinosaurs changes forever. Yet, the greatest danger does not come from the impact itself. Dust, ash, and tiny fragments of rock are blasted high into the atmosphere. For months, perhaps years, the sunlight grows dim. Days become strangely dark. Temperatures begin to fall. Plants struggle without sunlight. Leaves wither. Forests grow silent. The great plant-eating dinosaurs find less food The hunters soon find less prey. One by one, ancient giants disappear, not all at once, not in a single day, but over generations. Their numbers shrink. Eventually, the magnificent creatures who ruled the earth for more than 160 million years become memories, locked inside stone. It is one of the greatest extinctions in the history of life. Around 75% of all species disappear. The oceans change, the skies change, the forests change, the world becomes quieter. For a moment, it seems as though evolution has been set back, but nature has an extraordinary quality. It begins again, hidden underground, inside hollow trees, and beneath tangled roots. The tiny mammals continue to survive. Their small bodies need less food. Their warm fur helps them endure the cooler climate. Many eat insects, seeds, roots, anything they can find. They are adaptable, patient, resilient. When the skies finally clear, a new world awaits them. The forests begin growing once more. But now, the giant dinosaurs are gone. For the first time in millions of years, there is space. Space to explore. Space to evolve. Space to dream. In the quiet language of evolution, the descendants of those tiny mammals spread across the continents. Some become skilled climbers, living among branches. Others return to the oceans, eventually becoming whales. Some race across open grasslands. Others glide through the night sky. Every environment presents a new challenge, and every challenge invites the brain to become just a little more capable. The cerebral cortex continues to expand. More neurons, more connections, more opportunities to learn from experience. Young mammals spend longer growing and learning. Parents invest more time protecting their offspring. Families become stronger. Communication becomes richer. Simple calls develop subtle meaning. A warning, a greeting, a request, a reassurance. The brain is no longer focused only on survival. It is beginning to build relationships, to recognize individuals, to remember not just places, but companions. The foundations of empathy, curiosity, and cooperation grow quietly across countless generations. If you look around the world today, you can still see the legacy of that ancient turning point. Every squirrel gathering food for winter, every dolphin working together in the sea, every wolf caring for its pack, every elephant remembering distant watering holes. Each carries a chapter of the same remarkable story, and eventually, among one small group of mammals living high in the trees, something new will begin. Hands will become more skillful. Eyes will look forward instead of sideways. Brains will grow larger, not all at once, but slowly, patiently, generation after generation. These quiet tree dwellers will one day become our earliest ancestors. Their journey will lead not only to humanity, but to music, language, art, science, and to this very moment, as you lie peacefully, listening to the extraordinary story of your own brain. So let the ancient forests return softly in your imagination. Listen to the distant wind, moving gently through the leaves, and together, we'll follow those small mammals into the trees, where the next great chapter of the human mind quietly begins. Take another slow, comfortable breath. Feel the weight of your body settling gently as your imagination continues its quiet journey forward through time. Millions of years have passed since the great asteroid changed the course of life on Earth. The forests have returned. They are greener, denser, and more vibrant than ever before. Towering trees rise hundreds of feet toward the sunlight. Their branches intertwine high above, creating a vast, living canopy. Sunlight filters softly through countless leaves. The air is warm and peaceful. Birdsong fills the morning. Gentle breezes carry the scent of fresh rain and flowering plants. Somewhere, high among these branches, a small creature carefully opens its eyes. It is not human, not yet. It is one of our very distant relatives, an early primate, small enough to fit comfortably on your shoulder. Its large eyes scan the forest. Its flexible fingers wrap securely around rough bark. Its long tail helps maintain balance as it moves from branch to branch. Life here is unlike life on the ground. Every movement requires precision. A single mistake could mean a dangerous fall. Every leap must be carefully judged. Every branch must be trusted. The brain receives an entirely new challenge. It must calculate distance, speed, balance, grip, timing, again and again. Imagine preparing to leap across an open gap between two branches. Your eyes measure the distance. Your muscles prepare for movement. Your inner ear maintains perfect balance. Your hands know exactly when to close. All of this must happen within a fraction of a second. For early primates, success depended on extraordinary coordination. Those with slightly better vision survived more often. Those with better balance raised more young. Those capable of learning complex movements passed those abilities to future generations. Slowly, almost invisibly, the brain began growing larger. One remarkable change appeared in the eyes. Unlike many mammals, whose eyes face toward the sides of their heads, primates developed forward-facing eyes. At first glance, this may seem like a small difference, but it transformed everything. When both eyes look toward the same object, the brain compares two slightly different images. From those differences, it creates depth perception. Suddenly, branches are no longer flat shapes. They have distance. They have position. The forest becomes three-dimensional. A leap can now be judged with astonishing accuracy. Even today, as you reach for a cup or catch a falling object, you rely on this ancient gift, first perfected among the treetops. Hands begin changing too. Early primates develop thumbs that move opposite their fingers. This simple innovation allows a firm grip. Branches can be held securely. Fruit can be picked carefully. Objects can be explored instead of merely touched. The hands and the brain begin evolving together. Each new ability creates another opportunity. Every opportunity encourages another improvement. Nature builds patiently, one small success at a time. Curiosity also begins to play a greater role. Young primates spend hours exploring, turning over leaves, examining insects, playing with sticks, testing branches, watching older members of the group play. May appear to be simple fun, but beneath the surface, something extraordinary is happening. The brain is practicing, building connections, learning patterns, preparing for adulthood. Even today, human children learn in much the same way, through exploration, through curiosity, through play. Deep inside your own brain, ancient circuits still reward the joy of discovering something new. Another important change begins quietly within these forest communities. Life is becoming more social. Many primates no longer live alone. They travel together, sleep together, protect one another. Youngsters watch adults closely. Adults care for infants long after birth. The brain must now remember many different faces, recognize different voices, understand simple social rules. Who can be trusted? Who needs help? Who belongs to the family? These growing relationships place new demands on memory, on emotion, on communication. The brain responds by becoming even more sophisticated. Some researchers believe that living in increasingly complex social groups was one of the greatest forces driving the expansion of the primate brain, not because survival required greater strength, but because understanding one another required greater intelligence. Imagine a quiet evening in the ancient forest. The day's warmth begins to fade. Golden sunlight filters gently through the leaves. A family of primates settles together on sturdy branches. Young ones nestle close to their mothers. Older members keep watch as the forest gradually grows quiet. There is comfort in staying together, safety in familiar faces, warmth in gentle companionship. Those feelings may seem wonderfully familiar because they are the parts of your brain that help you recognize a loved one's face, that allow you to feel comfort in the company of family and peace in gentle conversation did not appear overnight. They are the result of millions upon millions of years spent living among companions in forests, much like this one. As the stars begin appearing above the treetops, another quiet transformation is already beginning. Some primates will eventually climb down from the safety of the trees. They will walk across open grasslands. Their hands will become free to carry food and eventually to shape tools. Their brains will begin the greatest expansion in the history of our species. And that is where our journey. Take a slow, gentle breath and let the forest fade softly into the distance. The world is changing once again. Millions of years have passed. The climate has become cooler. In many places, the great forests begin to shrink. Wide grasslands spread across the continents. Open skies replace the endless canopy of leaves for the primates who have lived among the trees for countless generations. A difficult choice quietly appears: remain within the shrinking forests or explore the unfamiliar world beyond them. Some stay, others take a few cautious steps onto the open plains. No one realizes that these simple footsteps will eventually lead to every city, every book, every telescope, and every dream humanity has ever known. Imagine the early morning sun rising over an endless savanna. Tall golden grasses sway gently in the breeze. Small herds of grazing animals move peacefully across the landscape. Far away, a group of early hominins walk slowly together. They are not yet human. Their faces look different. Their bodies are covered with more hair. Their brains are much smaller than yours. Yet, something extraordinary has already begun. They spend more time walking upright at first, only for short distances, then longer journeys. Standing on two legs changes far more than posture. It changes the brain itself. When the hands are no longer needed for walking, they become available for something entirely new. They can carry food. They can carry infants. They can gather branches. They can explore objects with patience and precision. The hands become curious, and curiosity feeds the brain. Imagine picking up a smooth stone, turning it slowly in your fingers, feeling its weight, its shape, its cool surface. Perhaps you strike it against another stone. A sharp edge appears, quite by accident. That sharp edge can cut plants, open nuts, prepare food. What begins as simple curiosity gradually becomes technology. The first tools: no factories, no machines, only careful observation and patient experimentation. Generation after generation, knowledge grows. Youngsters watch the adults. Adults demonstrate. The young imitate. For perhaps the first time, information begins passing, not only through genes, but through learning. Culture has quietly arrived. The brain now carries two kinds of inheritance. One, written inside DNA. The other, shared from one generation to the next. Every lesson remembered makes the future a little easier. Imagine a child watching an older family member shape a simple stone tool. The child observes carefully. At first, the movements seem impossible, but day after day, the child practices. Eventually, the same skill lives inside another brain. This simple act, teaching, may be one of the greatest inventions in the history of life. The brain thrives when knowledge can be shared. Food also begins changing. Cooking still lies far in the future, but early humans discover richer sources of nutrition: meat, nuts, seeds, and energy-rich foods help support a growing brain. A larger brain requires enormous amounts of fuel. Even today, though your brain makes up only a small percentage of your body weight, it quietly uses around 20% of your body's energy. Every single day, it is an expensive organ, but its rewards are extraordinary. With a larger brain comes better memory, better planning, greater imagination. Early hominins begin thinking a little farther into the future. Instead of reacting only to the present, they start preparing for tomorrow. Where will water be found? Where will the herd travel? Which route offers the greatest safety? Planning becomes another quiet revolution. Deep inside your own mind, you still carry these ancient abilities. When you prepare for tomorrow morning, when you remember where you placed your keys, when you choose the safest path home, you are using systems that began evolving across these wide, golden grasslands. As evening falls, the group gathers together. The sky turns orange, then purple, then deep blue. A gentle wind moves through the tall grass. The youngest settle close to their parents. The oldest watch the horizon with calm, patient eyes. No one here knows what the future holds. No one imagines cities, music, writing, spacecraft, or microscopes. Yet every one of those achievements depends on the quiet changes taking place inside these growing brains. The journey toward humanity has truly begun, and in the next chapter, a discovery unlike any before will transform not only survival, but the human mind itself. It will glow softly against the darkness. It will bring warmth, protection, stories, and countless evenings spent together. It is one of humanity's most beautiful companions. Fire, take another slow, comfortable breath and imagine the golden grasslands growing quiet as evening slowly settles across the earth. The warmth of the day begins to fade. Long shadows stretch across the landscape. The sky changes from soft blue to shades of amber, and finally to deep violet. For millions of years, darkness has always meant the same thing: rest, silence, uncertainty. When the sun disappears, the world belongs to creatures with sharper teeth, quieter footsteps, and eyes that see far better than our own. Our early ancestors know this well. As night approaches, they gather together. They stay close. They listen carefully to every sound beyond the tall grass. A distant growl, the rustling of leaves, the gentle call of unseen animals. The night can be beautiful, but it is also a place of hidden dangers. Then, something remarkable begins to happen, not all at once, not through invention, but through observation. Perhaps a bolt of lightning strikes a dry tree. Perhaps lava flows from a distant volcano. Perhaps wildfire sweeps quietly across the landscape. For countless generations, fire has always existed. But now, instead of simply fearing it, some curious ancestors watch. They notice that animals move away from it. Predators hesitate. The air becomes warmer. The darkness retreats. When the flames finally disappear, something else has changed. Plants have become softer. Seeds taste different. Animals caught in the fire are easier to eat. The discovery does not happen in a single evening. It unfolds across thousands of generations. At first, humans probably did not know how to create fire. Instead, they learned how to protect it. Imagine finding a burning branch after a storm. Rather than leaving it behind, someone carries it carefully, slowly, shielding the glowing ember from wind and rain. That single flame may provide warmth for many days. It becomes a treasured companion, one that must never be allowed to disappear. Around the fire, something extraordinary begins to unfold. People stay awake a little longer. Instead of wandering apart, they gather in small circles. Faces glow softly in the warm orange light. Children sit quietly beside their parents. Older members watch the dancing flames as sparks drift toward the stars. For perhaps the first time, the evening becomes a place for conversation. No longer is every moment devoted only to finding food or avoiding danger. There is time to share experiences, to teach, to remember, to imagine. Some anthropologists believe that fire may have transformed the human brain not only through cooking, but through conversation. The flickering light extended the day. It created hours when families could simply be together. Stories may have begun beside those first campfires. Not written stories, not yet, but spoken ones. A successful hunt, a dangerous river, a strange animal, a memory passed gently from one mind to another. Each story strengthened memory, strengthened language, strengthened community, and quietly strengthened the brain. Cooking also changed everything. Raw food requires time and energy to chew and digest. Cooking breaks food down. It makes nutrients easier to absorb. More energy becomes available to support a growing brain. Over hundreds of thousands of years, brains continue expanding, not dramatically within a single lifetime, but slowly across countless generations. Each newborn arrives with slightly greater potential than those who came before. Around the fire, children learn by watching adults demonstrate how to shape tools, how to prepare food, how to recognize animal tracks. Knowledge flows naturally from one generation to the next. Unlike instincts, which are written into DNA, this knowledge lives inside the mind. It must be remembered, practiced, shared, protected. In many ways, fire becomes the first classroom. Imagine looking into those ancient flames. The fire crackles softly. Warm air brushes gently across your face. The stars appear brighter against the dark sky. Someone begins telling a simple story. Others listen carefully. Children ask quiet questions. Laughter rises gently into the cool night air. No one realizes that these peaceful evenings are shaping the future of our species. Around those fires, language becomes richer, friendships become stronger, ideas travel farther than any single person ever could. The human brain learns something new. It learns that survival is not only about strength, it is also about cooperation, communication, and shared understanding. Even today, Many people find themselves relaxing beside a fireplace or watching the gentle dance of a campfire. Scientists believe our fascination may echo those ancient evenings when fire first brought warmth, safety, and companionship to our ancestors. Perhaps some small part of your own brain still remembers those countless nights spent beneath a sky full of stars, where stories first began to shape the remarkable mind you carry today. As the last glowing embers fade softly into the darkness, another great transformation waits just beyond the horizon. Soon, the sounds around the fire will become something far more powerful. Simple calls will grow into words. Words will grow into language, and language will become one of the greatest inventions the human brain has ever created. Take a slow, peaceful breath and allow the warm glow of the ancient campfire to remain just a little longer. The flames dance quietly against the darkness. The night air is cool. The stars shine with remarkable clarity. Around the fire, families gather. Children rest close to their parents. The oldest members watch the glowing embers, their faces softly illuminated by flickering light. For countless generations, our ancestors have communicated. They have called to one another, warned of danger, celebrated success, comforted frightened children. Many animals can do these things. Birds sing, wolves howl, whales call across vast oceans. But something extraordinary is beginning to happen within the human brain. The sounds become more precise, more flexible, more meaningful. Imagine two early humans walking together across an open plain. One notices fresh footprints pressed gently into soft earth. Instead of simply pointing or making a warning cry, they produce a specific sound, a sound that carries a particular meaning, not just danger, but perhaps large animal. Or, this way, for the very first time, a sound represents an idea. It seems like a small step, yet it may be one of the greatest revolutions in the history of life, because ideas can now travel from one mind into another without anyone having to see the event itself. Imagine describing a river beyond the next hill, a fruit tree that ripens every summer, a cave safe from storms, a place filled with danger. Knowledge no longer disappears. When the moment ends, it can be spoken, remembered, repeated, improved. The brain responds eagerly. Special regions become increasingly active. One area helps shape the movements of the mouth, tongue, and lips. Another learns to recognize patterns of sound. Together, they create an astonishing partnership. Listening, understanding, speaking, repeating, learning. Inside your own brain, these regions still work together. Every time you speak, read, or quietly listen to another voice, scientists continue to study exactly when language first appeared. Some believe its earliest beginnings stretch back hundreds of thousands of years. Others suggest it developed more gradually. Like so many chapters in evolution, there was probably no single moment, no single inventor, only countless generations, adding one small improvement after another. Imagine a young child listening to older family members. Every word becomes a puzzle, every sentence a lesson. Without realizing it, the child's brain begins discovering patterns, sounds become familiar, meanings become clear. Soon, the child speaks, not because language was taught like a list of rules, but because the brain has evolved to absorb it. This remarkable ability is one of humanity's greatest gifts. No textbook is required, no formal lessons, only conversation, only listening, only time. Even today, a baby's brain builds millions of new connections every single second. During early development, each conversation, each bedtime story, each gentle song helps shape those growing networks. Language changes more than communication. It transforms memory itself. Imagine trying to remember every plant, every animal, every path without names. It would be extraordinarily difficult. Names organize knowledge. Words become shelves inside the library of the mind. With language, the brain can group ideas, compare experiences, imagine futures that have not yet happened. For the first time, people can ask questions that have no immediate answer. Where does the sun go at night? Why do the seasons change? Who were our grandparents? What lies beyond those mountains? Curiosity finds its voice. The brain begins exploring not only the physical world, but ideas themselves. Around ancient fires, stories become longer, richer, more detailed. Parents tell children about remarkable journeys, successful hunts, dangerous storms, acts of courage, acts of kindness. Some stories describe real events. Others begin as imagination. Perhaps someone wonders what lives beyond the stars. Perhaps another imagines great spirits watching over the forests. Whether true or imagined, these stories exercise a remarkable ability, the power to picture things that cannot be seen. This ability, imagination, will eventually lead to paintings, music, mathematics, poetry, architecture, science, and one day, to people wondering how their own brains came to exist. As thousands of generations pass, language becomes more sophisticated. Simple sounds become words. Words become sentences. Sentences become conversations. Conversations become cultures. And cultures become civilizations. Every language ever spoken, whether whispered in a quiet home or proclaimed before thousands, shares a common ancestry. In these early voices, spoken beside ancient fires, under endless skies. Tonight, as you listen to these words, your own brain is performing an astonishing feat. Tiny vibrations reach your ears. They become electrical signals. Those signals travel silently through billions of interconnected neurons. And somehow, without effort, meaning appears. It feels simple, almost ordinary, yet it is one of the greatest miracles evolution has ever produced. As the voices around the ancient fire grow softer and the stars continue their slow journey across the night sky, another extraordinary chapter awaits us. Soon, humans will begin painting their thoughts on cave walls, leaving behind the very first lasting messages for people who have not yet been born. And in doing so, the human brain will discover a new kind of immortality. Take another slow, comfortable breath and let the quiet cave gradually fade into the distance. The painted animals remain behind, silent witnesses to humanity's growing imagination. Outside, the world continues its patient rhythm. The Great Ice Age is slowly coming to an end. The air becomes a little warmer. Glaciers begin their long retreat. Rivers flow more freely. Grasslands expand. Forests spread once again. The earth feels welcoming to new possibilities. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors have lived as travelers. They followed the changing seasons. They searched for fresh water, for ripe fruit, for herds moving across open plains. Their homes were temporary, their journeys endless. But now, something remarkable begins to change. Imagine a small family standing beside a peaceful river. The water moves slowly, reflecting the morning sunlight. Nearby, wild grasses sway gently in the breeze. One person notices that seeds dropped months before have become new plants. At first, it seems like a simple observation, but simple observations have often changed the course of history. What if, instead of searching for food, food could grow close to home? What if people stayed in one place? The idea appears almost impossible, yet slowly, across many generations, communities begin planting seeds. On purpose, they return to the same land. Again and again, the harvest becomes more reliable. Families grow larger. Children spend more time in familiar places. For the first time, many people no longer spend their entire lives moving. They begin to settle. Small shelters become homes. Homes become villages. Imagine walking through one of these early villages. The morning air carries the scent of fresh earth and wood smoke. Children laugh softly as they chase one another between simple homes. Nearby, someone grinds grain into flour. Another shapes a clay pot with patient hands. Others repair woven baskets, carefully sharpen stone tools, or gather water from the river. Life has become more organized, and with organization, the brain receives entirely new challenges. Instead of remembering only rivers or hunting paths, people now remember neighbors, families, fields, harvest seasons, planting times, the changing weather. Memory expands. Planning becomes essential. Imagine preparing for winter. Food must be stored. Seeds must be protected. Homes must be repaired. One poor decision could affect an entire community, the brain, begins thinking not only about tomorrow, but about many months ahead. This ability to imagine the future becomes one of humanity's greatest strengths. Soon, people begin working together in larger groups. Some grow crops, others make tools, others weave cloth. Some become skilled builders. For perhaps the first time, not everyone needs to do everything. Specialization is quietly born as people depend upon one another. Communication becomes richer, trust becomes more valuable, cooperation becomes essential. Deep inside your own brain, ancient networks still reward working together, helping others, building friendships, because for thousands of years, communities were the difference between survival and hardship. Imagine the evening settling over a peaceful village. The day's work has ended. Smoke rises gently into the cooling sky. Families gather outside their homes. Children listen as grandparents tell stories passed down across generations. Stories about rivers, animals, the stars, the seasons, and the ancestors who came before. Without realizing it, these storytellers are doing something extraordinary. They are preserving collective memory. No single brain needs to remember everything. Knowledge can now live inside an entire community. This shared memory will one day become books, libraries, universities, and the vast networks of knowledge that connect humanity today. As villages grow, people notice another curious thing. The moon follows patterns. The seasons return again and again. Certain stars appear at the same time each year. Observing these rhythms helps farmers know when to plant, when to harvest. The brain begins linking time with nature. The first calendars are still simple, yet they reveal something profound. Humanity is learning to predict the future, not through magic, but through careful observation. Science has not yet received its name, but its earliest spirit is already alive. It begins with curiosity, with patience, with the quiet question, what happens if I pay attention? That question will eventually lead to medicine, astronomy, engineering, and every great discovery still waiting in humanity's future. Tonight, as you rest, perhaps you can imagine walking slowly through that peaceful village, the warm glow of evening fires, the gentle murmur of distant conversations, the smell of freshly baked bread, the sound of a river flowing quietly beyond the fields, a world growing calmer, more connected, more thoughtful. The human brain has traveled an astonishing distance from tiny nerve cells drifting in ancient oceans to communities, planning seasons, sharing stories, and building a future together. Yet, its greatest adventures still lie ahead, because soon humans will invent writing, and for the first time, thoughts will no longer live only inside the mind. They will become something that can travel across centuries, waiting patiently for someone to read them. Take another slow, gentle breath and allow the peaceful village to drift softly into the distance. The evening fires grow smaller until they become tiny points of light against the darkness. Thousands of years pass quietly. Villages become towns. Towns become cities. Stone replaces wood. Roads stretch farther. Markets grow busier. People meet, not only neighbors, but strangers from distant lands. The human brain faces a new challenge. There is simply too much to remember. Imagine a skilled farmer trying to remember every harvest, every season, every family who borrowed grain, every promise made months ago, or a merchant traveling hundreds of miles, trying to remember every trade, every customer, every agreement. Memory, remarkable though it is, has limits. The brain needs help, and so one of humanity's greatest inventions begins to appear, not all at once, not in one place, but gradually across different civilizations. Someone makes a simple mark in wet clay. Another carves symbols into stone. Someone else brushes ink onto smooth papyrus. At first, the symbols are wonderfully simple. Perhaps they count animals, grain, jars of oil, the arrival of a caravan, the passing of another season. But something extraordinary has happened. Information no longer disappears when its owner falls asleep or grows old or passes away. A thought can now survive outside the brain. Imagine a child reading marks made by someone who lived many years earlier. The two people have never met, yet one mind reaches across time to teach another. Writing has quietly defeated one of time's greatest barriers. Knowledge can now travel not only across distance, but across generations. The human brain responds immediately. Instead of remembering every tiny detail, it can focus on something new: ideas, questions, connections. Writing becomes an extension of memory. Some scientists call this external memory, a place where knowledge waits patiently until someone needs it again. Imagine entering a room filled with clay tablets. Each one contains a different story, a different law, a different recipe, a different observation. Together, they form something entirely new. A library. For the first time, thousands of thoughts can exist together, waiting quietly for curious minds. The brain loves patterns. As more information becomes available, people begin comparing ideas. They notice that rivers flood at certain times, that stars return to familiar places, that illnesses often follow recognizable patterns. Questions become deeper. Observations become more careful. Knowledge begins building upon knowledge. Imagine a teacher drawing symbols into soft sand. A child watches closely, repeating each mark again and again. Every generation adds a little more, a better idea, a clearer explanation, a more accurate observation. Human knowledge begins growing faster than ever before, and with it, the brain faces a wonderful challenge. Not merely remembering, but understanding. Deep inside, billions of neurons begin linking ideas together. One discovery leads to another. One question creates three more. Curiosity feeds curiosity. This is one reason why learning can feel so satisfying. Every new idea creates fresh connections inside the brain. Tiny electrical pathways become stronger each time they are used. The brain, quite literally, changes as it learns. This remarkable ability is called neuroplasticity. Even as you listen tonight, your own brain is quietly strengthening connections between ideas. Learning never truly stops. Imagine an elderly storyteller watching a young student carefully copy ancient symbols onto fresh parchment. The storyteller smiles, not because the knowledge belongs to them, but because it will continue long after they are gone. Perhaps this is one of humanity's greatest dreams, to leave behind something meaningful, a story, a lesson, a discovery, a kindness, something that continues, helping others across time. Writing makes that dream possible. From these first symbols will come poetry, mathematics, history, philosophy, medicine, maps, music, great libraries, scientific journals, and eventually, the books that explain how your own brain works. In a beautiful way, your brain has learned to study itself, a universe trying gently to understand its own stars. As night settles quietly over the ancient city, the final lamps glow softly beside shelves filled with handwritten scrolls. Each scroll contains a piece of someone's mind, waiting for another mind to awaken it again. And as we continue our peaceful journey, we move toward a time when human curiosity will grow even bolder. People will begin asking not only what happens, but why. The search for answers will transform the world forever, and it will begin with a quiet habit that still lives inside your own remarkable brain, the habit of wondering. Comfortable breath, and let the ancient library grow quiet. The last candle flickers gently. Its warm light falls across shelves filled with carefully written scrolls. Outside, the night is calm. Above, the same stars that watched the first humans still shine with silent patience. For thousands of years, people have gathered knowledge. They have written stories, measured rivers, built cities, named the stars. But now, something even more remarkable begins to happen. People start asking a different kind of question. Not simply, what happened? But, why? Why does the moon change its shape? Why do seasons return each year? Why do some plants heal the sick while others cause illness? Why does lightning flash across the sky? And perhaps the greatest question of all, why are we here? These questions may seem ordinary. You have probably asked hundreds of them throughout your life. Yet curiosity may be one of evolution's greatest gifts. Imagine a child walking beside a quiet river. Most people simply see water flowing, but the child stops. They notice small ripples moving around a smooth stone. They ask, why? That tiny question seems almost too simple to matter. Yet history has often changed because someone paused long enough to wonder. The human brain is wonderfully designed to search for patterns. Even before you are aware of it, your brain is making predictions, completing shapes, recognizing faces, finding meaning in sounds. It is constantly asking, what comes next? Imagine looking up at the night sky. Thousands of stars scatter softly across the darkness. To many animals, the stars are simply light, but to humans, they become questions, stories, maps, possibilities. Someone notices that certain stars always rise together. Another realizes that eclipses can be predicted. Another wonders whether those tiny lights are worlds like our own. Curiosity quietly expands the boundaries of the mind. Deep inside your brain, several remarkable regions work together whenever you discover something unexpected. Scientists have found that curiosity can activate the brain's reward system. When you learn something fascinating, your brain releases tiny bursts of chemicals that encourage you to keep exploring. In other words, the brain actually enjoys learning. Perhaps that explains why a good mystery can capture your attention, or why children ask so many questions. Their brains are doing exactly what evolution designed them to do. Imagine an early astronomer standing quietly beneath a clear desert sky. Night after night, they observe the heavens. At first, they notice only bright stars. Soon, they recognize patterns. Then, they discover that some lights move differently. They wander across the sky. Today, we call them planets. Long before telescopes existed, patient observation was already revealing the hidden order of the universe. The brain does something remarkable when it observes the same event again and again. It begins to build models, not physical models, but mental ones. Tiny networks of neurons learn what usually happens. Then, when something changes, the brain notices almost immediately. This ability has helped humans survive for hundreds of thousands of years. A strange footprint, a different bird call, an unusual smell, a changing season. The curious brain pays attention. Over time, that same ability leads to mathematics, to engineering, to medicine, to astronomy, and eventually to neuroscience, the study of the brain itself. Imagine how extraordinary that truly is. The human brain, a collection of billions of living cells, has become capable of examining its own structure. It asks, how do memories form? Why do we dream? What creates consciousness? How does imagination appear from tiny electrical signals? These are questions scientists are still exploring. Even today, in many ways, the greatest mystery the brain has ever faced is itself. Perhaps that is fitting, because some mysteries are not meant to be solved all at once. They invite us to keep wondering, to keep learning, to remain humble. before the vastness of what we do not yet know. Imagine yourself standing quietly on a hill just before sunrise. The stars are beginning to fade. A gentle breeze moves through the grass. The first birds sing softly. In the distance, you realize that every discovery, every invention, every piece of knowledge began with a single thought, a single question, a quiet moment of curiosity. What if? Those two simple words have carried humanity across oceans, into the skies, to the moon, and beyond. Yet perhaps the most beautiful journey has always been the one inside your own mind. Every time you become curious, you continue a tradition that stretches back across countless generations, from children watching rivers to astronomers studying stars to scientists exploring neurons, all united by the same quiet habit, wondering. As the first light of dawn softly brightens the horizon, our peaceful journey continues forward. Soon, we will discover how your brain stores memories, creates dreams, and quietly reshapes itself every single day without you even noticing. Take another slow, peaceful breath and allow the first light of morning to gently warm the horizon. The stars fade quietly. Birdsong begins softly. In the distance, the world awakens, one gentle sound at a time. Now, imagine walking toward an enormous library. It is unlike any building ever constructed. Its shelves stretch farther than the eye can see. There are no librarians, no clocks, no closing hours. Every moment of your life has left a small mark somewhere inside. This remarkable library is your memory. Every face you have ever recognized, every favorite song, every familiar scent, every place that has ever felt like home. Each one lies quietly within the landscape of your brain. Yet memory is not a single thing. It is many systems working together in beautiful harmony. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. You hear their voice. You notice their smile. Perhaps you remember their name. At first, that memory feels delicate, almost fragile, like writing upon soft sand. Scientists call this short-term memory. It allows you to hold information for a few moments, long enough to use it. Then, something remarkable begins to happen. Deep within a curved structure called the hippocampus, your brain starts asking an important question. Is this worth keeping? If the answer is yes, tiny groups of neurons begin strengthening their connections, almost as though a narrow forest path is slowly becoming a well-traveled road. The more often a memory is used, the stronger that road becomes. Eventually, it may become a wide highway, easy to travel, even years later. This quiet process is called memory consolidation. It often continues long after the experience itself has ended. Sometimes, while you sleep, imagine learning a new melody on the piano. At first, your fingers hesitate. Every movement requires concentration. But after days of practice, the music begins to flow naturally. Your brain has quietly reorganized itself. The pathways have grown stronger. Learning has become part of you. Perhaps the most beautiful thing about memory is that it changes. It is not like a photograph locked forever in time. Each time you remember something, your brain briefly opens that memory again. It can become slightly clearer or slightly different. New emotions may gently color old experiences. In a way, memory is alive. It grows alongside you. Scientists have discovered that recalling a memory is surprisingly similar to creating it again. The brain does not simply play back a recording. Instead, it carefully rebuilds the experience from countless pieces: the sound, the smell, the feeling, the place, the emotion, like an artist painting the same landscape on different mornings. Each version may contain tiny differences. Perhaps that is why two people can remember the very same event in wonderfully different ways. Neither brain is trying to deceive. Each one is simply rebuilding its own story. Deep inside your brain, billions of neurons form an extraordinary network. A single memory may not live in one place. Instead, its many parts are stored across different regions. The sound of a loved one's laughter, the warmth of sunlight on your face, the taste of fresh bread, the color of the evening sky. Each element finds its own home. Then, when you remember, the brain gently gathers those pieces together, like musicians joining to perform a familiar song. Have you ever caught the scent of fresh rain or a favorite meal and suddenly found yourself remembering a distant childhood moment? This happens because smell has an unusually close connection to the brain's memory centers. A single fragrance can unlock a forgotten afternoon, a familiar home, or the comforting presence of someone you have not seen in many years. The brain quietly protects its most meaningful moments. Not all memories are equally strong. Emotion acts like a gentle highlighter. Moments filled with wonder, joy, surprise, or deep emotion often become easier to remember. Your brain seems to whisper, "This mattered. Keep this safe." Even so, forgetting is not a flaw. It is a gift. Imagine trying to remember every leaf you have ever seen, every face passed on a busy street, every cloud that drifted overhead. The mind would become overwhelmed. Instead, the brain quietly lets go of countless details, making room for what matters most. Forgetting allows learning. It allows adaptation. It allows growth. In many ways, memory is less like a storage box and more like a carefully tended garden. Some paths are walked every day, others slowly disappear beneath soft grass. Yet even forgotten paths may remain hidden, waiting for the right sound, the right smell, or the right story to awaken them again. Tonight, as you listen, your own brain is quietly deciding which moments from this journey to keep. Perhaps a peaceful forest, an ancient ocean, a warm campfire, a sky filled with stars, perhaps only a feeling of calm, of wonder, of quiet curiosity. And that is enough, because memories are not only the stories we tell ourselves, they are the threads that gently weave together the person you become. As this chapter draws softly to a close, the day fades once more. Toward evening, the light grows warmer. Your thoughts become slower, and together we drift gently toward another beautiful mystery. A mystery that visits you every single night. The mysterious world of dreams. Take one more slow, gentle breath. Allow your body to grow a little heavier as the evening sky quietly darkens once again. The last colors of sunset fade into deep blue. One by one, the stars return. The world becomes wonderfully still. Somewhere, a gentle breeze moves through the trees. Far away, a small owl calls into the night. It is time to sleep. For thousands of years, people believed dreams were messages. Some thought they came from the gods. Others believed they revealed the future. Some imagined that dreams were journeys taken by the soul while the body rested. These ideas were comforting, beautiful, and mysterious. Today, science offers a different story, no less remarkable, because while your body lies peacefully asleep, your brain remains astonishingly busy. Imagine looking down at a sleeping city from high above. The streets appear quiet. The lights glow softly. Most people have gone to bed, yet beneath the peaceful surface, electricity still flows. Water still moves through hidden pipes. Workers continue important tasks that most people never see. Your sleeping brain is very much like that city. Although your eyes are closed and your muscles have relaxed, billions of neurons continue speaking to one another. Soft electrical signals travel silently across vast neural networks. The brain is not resting, it is working in a different way. Sleep itself is not one single state. Instead, it unfolds like a gentle journey, again and again throughout the night. Scientists divide sleep into several stages. The first is wonderfully light. You may still hear faint sounds, perhaps the distant hum of a fan, the soft rhythm of falling rain, or the comforting voice of someone nearby. Your thoughts begin to drift. Ideas become less organized. Images appear, then quietly disappear. Soon, you enter a deeper sleep. Your breathing slows. Your heartbeat becomes calm and steady. Your muscles relax completely. During this time, your body begins repairing itself. Tiny cells replace old ones. Hormones support growth and healing. The immune system works quietly, protecting you without asking for your attention. Meanwhile, your brain begins another important task. Throughout the day, you experienced thousands of moments, conversations, sounds, faces, thoughts, questions, feelings. The brain cannot keep every detail, so during sleep, it gently sorts through them. Some memories grow stronger. Others fade away. It is rather like a careful librarian returning books to their proper shelves after a busy day. Then, something extraordinary begins. Your eyes start moving rapidly beneath closed eyelids. Scientists call this rapid eye movement, or simply REM sleep. Although your body remains still, your brain suddenly becomes almost as active as it is when you are awake. This is where many dreams begin. Imagine walking through a familiar street. Suddenly, without explanation, you are standing on a quiet beach. A childhood friend appears. Then, without surprise, you are floating above snowy mountains. Dreams do not follow the ordinary rules of waking life. Time bends, places merge, people appear and disappear. The impossible feels completely natural. Why? Scientists are still discovering the answer. One idea suggests that dreams help the brain practice. They create safe simulations, a place to explore emotions, solve problems, or rehearse challenges without real danger. Another idea suggests dreams help organize memories, pieces of yesterday, mixed gently with older experiences. The brain searches quietly for meaning and connection. Perhaps that explains why a dream can include your childhood home, someone you met yesterday, and a place that has never existed. The brain is weaving together many threads into something entirely new. Remarkably, some of history's great ideas were inspired by dreams. A melody, a scientific insight, a story, a painting. Even while asleep, the brain continues creating. It never truly stops imagining. Deep inside, a small structure called the amygdala often becomes especially active during dreams. It helps process emotion. Meanwhile, parts of the brain responsible for strict logic become slightly quieter. Perhaps that is why dreams feel so wonderfully strange. They speak the language of feeling more than the language of reason. Have you ever awakened, unable to remember a dream that felt vivid only moments before? This is perfectly natural. Many dreams disappear quickly because the brain does not store them as lasting memories. They drift away like morning mist as waking consciousness returns. And yet, some dreams remain with us for years, not because they predicted the future, but because they touched something meaningful within us. Perhaps a feeling, a hope, a question, a memory, waiting quietly to be understood. As you listen tonight, your own brain is preparing for another night of gentle dreaming. Soon, whether you remember your dreams or not, billions of neurons will continue their silent conversation, repairing, organizing, learning, creating, all while you rest peacefully. It is one of the quiet miracles of being alive. As the stars continue their slow journey across the night sky, your breathing becomes slower, your thoughts grow softer, and together we drift toward another remarkable mystery. Not the dreams you experience while sleeping. But the astonishing way your brain can change itself every single day for your entire life. Take another slow, comfortable breath. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breathing as the night becomes wonderfully quiet. The stars continue their silent journey across the sky. Somewhere, a cool breeze moves softly through the leaves. The world seems peaceful, still, unchanging. Yet beneath that calm surface, everything is changing. The trees are growing. The rivers are flowing. The earth is turning. And inside your head, your brain is quietly transforming. Even now, for a very long time, people believed the adult brain was fixed, like a finished sculpture, beautiful but permanent. They thought that after childhood, the brain could no longer create new pathways, could no longer adapt very much. But science has revealed a far more hopeful story. Your brain is alive, not only because its cells are living, but because its connections are constantly changing. Scientists call this remarkable ability neuroplasticity, a beautiful word that simply means the brain can reshape itself. Imagine standing in a peaceful forest. At first, there are no paths, only grass and quiet trees. Then, someone walks across the field. A faint trail appears. Another person follows the same route. Then another. Soon, the grass begins to flatten. The trail becomes easier to follow. Day after day, more travelers choose the same path. Eventually, a narrow trail becomes a wide road. The brain learns in much the same way. Every thought, every skill, every memory travels along tiny networks of neurons. The more often a pathway is used, the stronger it becomes. Connections grow faster. Signals travel more easily. Learning literally changes the architecture of the brain. Imagine learning to ride a bicycle. The first attempt feels awkward. Your balance wavers. Your movements are uncertain. The brain is creating entirely new pathways. Each practice session strengthens them. One day, something remarkable happens. You climb onto the bicycle and simply ride. The skill has become part of you, not because the bicycle changed, but because your brain did. The same thing happens when learning a language, a musical instrument, a new recipe, a dance, or even a familiar route through a busy city. Every experience leaves a tiny fingerprint upon your brain. Most of these changes are invisible. You cannot feel new synapses forming. You cannot hear neurons growing stronger together. Yet millions of microscopic adjustments may happen every single day. Scientists often summarize this remarkable process with a simple idea: neurons that fire together, wire together. When two neurons communicate repeatedly, their connection usually becomes stronger. The brain learns by building relationships between cells. But there is another side to this story. Just as frequently traveled roads become wider and used paths may slowly disappear, the brain is wonderfully efficient. Connections that are no longer useful may gradually weaken. This process helps the brain stay organized. It allows important pathways to become clearer without being crowded by unnecessary ones. In a way, the brain is constantly pruning its own garden, removing small branches so healthier ones can flourish. This quiet process continues throughout life, even in older adulthood. For many years, scientists believed that growing older meant the brain could no longer learn. Today, we know that is not true. Older brains can continue building new connections, learning new skills, creating new memories. The pace may sometimes become gentler, but the ability remains. Imagine an 80-year-old learning to play the piano, or someone beginning a new language after retirement. Every lesson, every practice session encourages the brain to adapt once again. There is something quietly inspiring about that thought. Your brain is never truly finished. It continues growing, responding, and changing as long as you continue living, learning, and experiencing the world. Even sleep plays an important role. During deep sleep, the brain strengthens some neural pathways. It gently trims others, almost like a careful gardener working quietly. Before sunrise, when morning comes, the garden is ready for another day of growth. Imagine a child learning to read. Each letter seems mysterious. Each word requires effort. Years later, that same child can read an entire page without consciously thinking about each individual letter. The brain has transformed countless tiny actions into one smooth skill. This is one of the greatest gifts of neuroplasticity. Practice becomes ability. Effort becomes ease. Confusion becomes understanding. Tonight, as you listen, your own brain is quietly doing what it has always done, strengthening some pathways, softening others, preparing itself for tomorrow without asking for applause, without making a single sound. It simply continues. It's patient work, moment by moment, day by day, year after year. Perhaps that is one of the most comforting truths about being human. You are not exactly the same person you were yesterday, nor the person you were 10 years ago. Your experiences, your memories, your learning have gently reshaped the living universe inside your head. And tomorrow, it will change again as this peaceful chapter draws softly toward its close. The night grows deeper. The stars shine a little brighter. And together, we prepare for one final journey, a journey into perhaps the greatest mystery the brain has ever faced, the mystery of consciousness itself, the simple yet astonishing experience of being you. Take one final, slow, peaceful breath. Allow your body to sink a little deeper into comfort. The night has become wonderfully quiet. The stars continue their ancient dance across the heavens. The earth turns silently beneath them. Your heartbeat remains steady, your breathing soft and effortless. Everything feels calm. For thousands of years, Humanity has searched for answers. We have crossed oceans, climbed mountains, mapped the stars, built telescopes that peer into distant galaxies, microscopes that reveal invisible worlds. We have discovered atoms, DNA, black holes, ancient civilizations buried beneath the earth. Yet perhaps the greatest mystery has never been far away. It has always been here, inside the quiet awareness that is listening to these words. Right now, scientists call it consciousness. It sounds like a complicated word, but its meaning is surprisingly simple. Consciousness is the experience of being you. It is the feeling of existing, of seeing a sunrise, of hearing a favorite song, of remembering someone you love, of wondering who you are. Every thought, every emotion, every dream, every memory appears within this quiet space we call awareness. But here, the mystery begins. How does it happen? How can billions of tiny cells, none of which know anything on their own, together create the experience of being alive? Imagine standing outside a great concert hall. Inside, thousands of musicians prepare quietly. One violin cannot perform a symphony alone. Neither can a single flute or one drum. But together, following the same rhythm, something extraordinary appears. Music, not because any individual instrument contains the entire symphony, but because all of them work together. Some scientists believe the brain may work in a similar way. No single neuron contains your personality. No single neuron stores your entire life. Yet together, across billions of tiny conversations, a conscious mind emerges. Others suggest that consciousness is less like an orchestra and more like a great city. Imagine walking through a peaceful city at night. Millions of lights glow softly. Some homes remain awake, others sleep. Cars move quietly. Electricity flows. Messages travel. No single building creates the city. The city exists because everything works together. Perhaps your consciousness is something similar, not located in one tiny place, but arising from countless connections, working in remarkable harmony. Even today, scientists continue searching for answers. Some believe consciousness depends on how information flows through the brain. Others explore whether it emerges when different brain regions share information at just the right moment. No single explanation has yet solved the mystery completely, and perhaps that is part of its beauty. Not every mystery needs to disappear to be appreciated. Imagine holding a single snowflake. You can admire its delicate pattern, even if you never calculate exactly how each crystal formed. Some things remain wonderful because they invite endless curiosity. Your brain is one of those things. Every morning, you awaken without consciously deciding to become yourself. Your memories return. Your name, your voice, your hopes, your favorite music, your sense of humor, your quiet dreams. Like the sunrise, consciousness simply arrives so naturally that we rarely stop to notice how astonishing it truly is. Think for a moment about everything your brain has accomplished across this gentle journey. It began as tiny sensitive cells drifting through ancient oceans hundreds of millions of years ago. Those simple cells became neurons. Neurons formed networks. Networks became brains. Brains learned to see, to hear, to remember, to imagine, to speak, to create music, to paint, to wonder, to love, to ask questions about the stars, and eventually to ask questions about themselves. The universe, after billions of years, produced something remarkable, a mind capable of understanding a little of the universe that created it. In a quiet way, you are part of that extraordinary story. Every thought you have ever had, every act of kindness, every lesson learned, every dream, every moment of curiosity is another chapter in the long history of the human brain. Perhaps that is the most beautiful realization of all. You are not separate from the story. You are its newest page, and tomorrow, someone else will add another. As the night grows even quieter, allow these thoughts to drift gently away. There is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember. Simply rest, knowing that inside your head, an extraordinary universe continues its silent work. Your heart keeps beating, your lungs keep breathing, your brain keeps dreaming, and somewhere, far above, the same stars that watched the first neurons appear in Earth's ancient oceans still shine with quiet patience. Thank you for taking this gentle journey across hundreds of millions of years, from the first spark of life to the remarkable mind you carry today. Now, let your thoughts become lighter, your breathing become slower, and if sleep has not already found you, may it arrive softly, peacefully, and quietly. Good night.